Welcome to the deep dive. Really glad you could join us today. We're diving into something, well, pretty huge actually. You know how it is, you want to get smart, fast, understand different sides of things, get those aha moments, but without feeling like you're drowning in info. That's what we do here. And today, it's all about the journey of learning English. We've gone through some fantastic sources, research, guides, you name it all, about what really works. Our mission is simple. Break down these big ideas, make them clear, practical, stuff you can actually use, like we're just chatting about it. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here right off the bat is just how much English is around us. It's kind of inescapable, isn't it? You probably notice it day to day, but it's truly become this global connector. It's the main language for international business, for tech, for science, even for movies and music, you know?
Yeah.
And get this, over 1.5 billion people speak English around the world. Billion.
Wow, that's a huge number.
It really is. And that matters for you because, well, being fluent can give you a real edge in your job. Definitely. Opens up new doors. But it's personal too. It lets you connect with people, different cultures on a whole other level. And why learn? So many reasons. Maybe you want to read a book in the original English, finally watch that film without subtitles. Or maybe it's simpler just chatting with friends or even seeing it as a hobby. Something fun that keeps your mind sharp. Every reason is totally valid. What's fascinating here is it's all about what drives you.
That's such a good way to put it. It's not just learning words, it's opening up, well, a whole new way of seeing things, maybe. Like you said, it's the most spoken language, sure. But it's also the language of like global business and communication. So whether your reasons are super formal, like for study or work, or just because you want to, for fun, it all counts. It's all valuable. Now, you might hear a number like English has 750,000 words.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Right. Like, where do you even start? But here's where it gets really interesting. English is actually kind of a mix. It's related to so many other languages because of its history, you know, conquests, trade, all that stuff. It borrowed words from Old German, Norse, French, Latin, Greek, loads of places.
It's a real melting pot.
Exactly. So if you speak a language like Spanish or French or Italian, anything with Latin roots, you'll find tons of words that look familiar. Cognates, they call them.
Like nation, direction.
Communication, culture. Yeah. And if you speak German or Dutch, you'll recognize basic words like hand, water, brother.
It gives you a head start, doesn't it?
It really does. It's like finding these little shortcuts.
Yeah.
So that huge number, 750,000 words, it's not as scary as it sounds. And honestly, with all the resources available now, online stuff, apps, communities, learning English can actually be a pretty smooth ride. You might surprise yourself how quickly you start feeling more confident.
Yeah, and building on that idea of making it smoother, the absolute first step, maybe even before you open a textbook, is setting goals. Think of it like drawing a map. You wouldn't start a long trip without knowing where you're going, right?
Makes sense.
Goals help you plan, keep you focused, and honestly, they keep you motivated when things get a bit tough. And these goals need to fit you. Your current level, what tools you have, like can you take a class, can you travel, or are you using apps?
Right, be realistic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they should cover everything, learning new words, your vocabulary, how you say words, pronunciation, understanding what you read, reading comprehension, and of course, how you write. You need a bit of everything.
Can you give some examples? Like, what does that look like for different levels?
Sure. So for a beginner, a good goal might be, in 3 months, I want to have a simple chat about my school or hobbies. Answer basic questions, you know.
Okay. Achievable.
For someone intermediate, maybe, I want to watch a whole movie in English, like on Netflix, and get most of it without subtitles.
Ooh, that's a good one. Satisfying when you hit that.
Definitely. And for an advanced learner, it could be, I want to read articles from, say, the BBC or New York Times and actually discuss them, give my opinion.
Right. Engaging on a deeper level.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But look, goals don't have to be that formal. Maybe you just want to learn enough basic stuff for a holiday. Ordering food, asking directions, that's a great goal.
Coffee, please.
Exactly. Or maybe you just want to understand song lyrics better, or your favorite YouTuber. You don't need to become a grammar whiz to understand and enjoy the language. It's about what you want. That personal connection is key.
That's so important, making it yours. And that links perfectly to the next big thing, which is mindset, really. It's about embracing mistakes and asking for help. Let's be super clear. Making mistakes when you're learning a language, totally normal, expected even. It's part of learning.
Absolutely. It's not failure, it's data.
Right. Think about learning to ride a bike. You fell off, didn't you? You didn't just quit. So please, don't be afraid to ask questions. Seriously, Everyone who speaks English fluently now. They were beginners once. They got stuck. They asked questions.
Loads of them, probably.
Yeah. A quick question to your teacher, or even just asking a native speaker, sorry, what does that mean, can make a huge difference, clears things right up. And also be kind to yourself. This stuff takes time. Patience is, well, everything. Try to enjoy the process. Focus on the fun bits, the small wins.
That enjoyment factor is huge for sticking with it.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for you? It means it's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to ask. Just keep exploring and enjoying the ride. Okay, so you've got your goals. You've got the right mindset. What's next? Immersion. Making English part of your world. This isn't just about studying. It's about living with the language, making it fun, practicing every day without it feeling like practice sometimes.
Weaving it into daily life.
Exactly. So one big thing is trying to talk to native English speakers regularly, if you can. Even small chats. Morning, how are you? At a shop, talking about the weather. It builds confidence like crazy.
Those little interactions add up.
They really do. If that's tricky, look for language exchange groups. Online or maybe locally, there are apps and websites where you can find people to practice with you, help them with your language. They help you with English.
Tandem, Hello Talk, things like that.
Yeah, those kinds of platforms. It's a win-win. Also, try to find social events or clubs where English is spoken.
Yeah.
Puts you right in the middle of real conversations.
Gets you out of your comfort zone a bit.
Definitely. And then there's the fun stuff, movies, music, news in English. Really listen, don't just have it on in the background.
Pay attention to the lyrics, the slang in films.
Right, and practice on your own too. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Sounds weird, maybe.
A little, but it works.
It does. Or record yourself speaking. Listening back helps you hear things you don't notice otherwise. Your pronunciation, your flow, it's all about making English inescapable. In a good way.
And what's fascinating here is how much control you have over this environment. You're the architect, really. A really powerful technique is actively trying to think in English. Because learning a language isn't just words and rules, it's like learning a new way to structure your thoughts.
How do you start doing that? It seems hard.
Start small. A really easy first step. Change your phone language to English. Your computer, too.
Oh, yeah, that forces you.
It does. It makes English part of your everyday tech interactions.
Yeah.
Then fill your ears. English music, podcasts, radio. And watch English movies and TV shows a lot. Your brain just starts soaking it up passively over time.
Getting used to the sounds and rhythms.
Exactly. And then actively narrate your day in your head. Simple stuff, like when you're getting dressed, I'm putting on my shirt, or making coffee, I need more milk.
Little internal monologues.
Yeah. Make your shopping list in English. Plan your chores in English. And yes, actually talk to yourself in English. Out loud if you can, or just in your head. And it feels odd at first, maybe.
But it's practice, right? Low pressure.
Very low pressure. It's a great way to try out sentences, remember words, without any audience.
Yeah.
You're just practicing constantly. And then the sort of ultimate immersion, if it's possible for you, is going abroad. Spending time in an English-speaking country.
The deep end.
Kind of. But it's incredibly effective. It forces you to use your English in real situations constantly. It pushes your skills forward really fast, and your confidence gets a massive boost because you have to communicate even with simple words. And honestly, native speakers usually appreciate the effort.
Yeah, people are generally quite helpful, aren't they?
They usually are. But one thing to keep in mind, English isn't the same everywhere. The accent in the UK is different from the US, which is different from Australia or Canada or Ireland.
Right. Different slang, too.
Exactly. Different ways of saying things. So if you do go abroad, maybe do a little research on the local flavor of English. It helps you tune in faster. Just makes you a more adaptable listener and speaker.
Okay, so immersion is key. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. The 4 main skills. Listening, reading, speaking, writing. How do we actively work on these? Let's start with active listening. This is more than just hearing, right? It's about really understanding.
It's fundamental. You can't respond if you haven't understood.
True. So a great way is watching English movies, TV shows, YouTube videos. Maybe start with English subtitles on.
Yeah, helps connect the sound to the word. Good for vocab, too.
And then maybe try turning them off as you get better. Challenge yourself. Also, listen to podcasts, news, radio in English. This helps with the natural flow of conversation, the rhythm.
And different accents. That's important. Try to listen to speakers from the UK, US, Australia. Get your ear used to the variety.
Good point. And talk with native speakers whenever you can. Really listen when they speak. Don't just wait for your turn.
Pay attention to how they phrase things, the words they choose. Ask questions if you're not sure.
Yeah, that active part is key. Don't just hear, listen. Pay attention. Ask questions. You could even practice listening in tricky situations, like in a noisy cafe or on the phone. It makes you focus more.
Absolutely. And flowing naturally from listening comes reading. Reading is it's brilliant. It's fun. And it's such an effective way to pick up new words, see grammar in action, learn common phrases.
And you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Pretty much. The most important thing, choose stuff you actually like. Doesn't matter if it's romance novels, sci-fi, history books, whatever. If you enjoy it, you'll stick with it.
Makes sense. Don't make it a chore.
Exactly. If you're starting out, maybe begin with shorter things. Articles, short stories, maybe even kids' books to build confidence. And when you hit a new word, try being a word detective. Guess the meaning from the context first before you grab a dictionary.
Good habit to build.
It really is. Joining a book club or finding a reading buddy is great too. Talking about what you read reinforces it and gives you speaking practice.
Oh, nice idea.
Keep a reading journal maybe.
Yeah.
Write down new words, thoughts on the book, see your progress, and try reading aloud. It feels different, but it helps your pronunciation and connects the written word to the spoken sound in your brain.
Like practicing speaking and reading at the same time.
Exactly. And read all sorts of things. Social media posts, song lyrics, news reports, academic articles. You see how native speakers use language differently in different situations. It's really insightful.
That's great advice for reading. Okay, what about writing your way to fluency? How does writing help? It feels like it forces you to be more careful, maybe.
It does. Writing makes you actively use the new words and grammar you're learning. It helps you organize your thoughts clearly.
Which is useful for, well, everything. Emails, reports, even just messages.
Totally. Start small. Simple sentences, then easy paragraphs. Don't try to write an essay on day one.
Baby steps.
Exactly. The key is doing it regularly. Even just a few sentences every day makes a difference. Builds the habit.
Consistency again.
Always. And get feedback. Ask someone you trust, a teacher, a native speaker friend, to read your writing. Ask for honest thoughts. Where can you improve?
That takes a bit of courage, but yeah, feedback is gold.
It really is.
Yeah.
If you're stuck for ideas, use writing prompts. Loads online. Describe your perfect day. What if animals could talk? Stuff like that.
Takes the pressure off thinking of a topic.
Yeah. And just try to have fun with it. Writing is a way to express yourself, explore ideas.
Maybe challenge yourself to use that new grammar rule you just learned, or write about different things. You mentioned starting a blog.
Yeah, why not? Share your learning journey. It's practice, and it shows how far you've come.
Love it. Okay, so listening, reading, writing. That brings us to the big one for many people. Learn English speaking through daily practice.
Ah, yes, the speaking part. This really is where consistent effort pays off hugely for fluency.
It's often the scariest part for learners, isn't it?
It can be, definitely. But the best way forward is just doing it. Talk to people who speak English well whenever you can. Everyday situations are perfect. Ordering food, asking directions, small talk, it all counts.
Real world practice.
Exactly. And listen closely to how native speakers talk, their pronunciation, rhythm, how their voice goes up and down. Try to copy them a little. Shadowing, like we mentioned.
Right, mimicking the sound.
It helps train your mouth and ears.
Oh.
And record yourself speaking.
The mirror and the recorder again.
They're powerful tools.
Yeah.
Listening back helps you spot things to work on. And you hear your progress over time, which is super motivating.
Yeah, hearing yourself improve must feel great.
It does. The absolute main thing is try to speak every day, even just 15 minutes. Talk to yourself, have a quick chat online, anything.
Just keep the engine running.
Precisely. And please don't fear mistakes. Everyone makes them. Keep practicing. It's the only way.
Maybe try fun ways to practice too, like storytelling, reading poetry out loud, maybe even stand-up comedy workshops if you're brave.
Hey, whatever makes it engaging, the more fun it is, the more you'll do it.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because we're now drilling down into the actual tools. Vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. Getting these right is crucial.
Absolutely. Think of them as the building blocks. Let's start with build your English vocabulary bank. The more words you know, the better you can express yourself.
Yeah, obvious, but true. How do we build it effectively?
Read a lot. Books, articles, news. When you see a new word, note it down. Look it up later. Play word games. Crosswords are amazing. They make you think of words from definitions, practice spelling, and train your brain to think in English, not translate.
Oh, I like that, thinking directly in English.
It's a big step towards fluency. Keep a vocabulary journal. Write the word, its meaning, an example sentence maybe. Use flashcards. There are great apps for this, like Anki, that use spaced repetition to help you remember long term.
Yeah, those are clever.
And crucially, use the new words. Try to slip them into your speaking and writing each day. Make them active. A fun practical tip. Put English labels on things around your house. Chair, table, window. Say the word when you see the object.
Ah, like tuning your house into a learning zone.
Exactly. It's creative reinforcement. Remember, building vocabulary takes time, but small, consistent steps add up massively.
Okay, vocabulary covered. Now for the one that often scares people. Learn English grammar rules. It seems so complex.
It can feel that way, but it's definitely manageable with the right approach. Don't try to learn everything at once.
Where should you start?
The basics. Really get solid on verb tenses, past, present, future. Understand pronouns he, she, they, etc. And basic sentence structure, subject, verb, object. There are tons of great online resources, websites, apps with interactive exercises.
Find ones that work for your learning style.
Yeah. And try tongue twisters. Peter Piper, Pick the Peck. They're fun, good for pronunciation, but also good for drilling certain grammar patterns.
Like muscle memory for your mouth and brain.
Kind of. Watch YouTube channels that teach grammar in a fun way. Many teachers are really good at breaking down tricky rules.
Use grammar checker tools too, like Grammarly.
Definitely. Use them as a learning tool. See where you're making mistakes and try to understand why.
And don't be afraid to ask. Teacher, language partner, whoever. If you're stuck, ask for help.
Please do. Remember, grammar isn't just rules for rules' sake. It's what helps you build clear sentences so people understand your ideas.
Right, it's the structure. Okay, final building block. Perfect. Your English pronunciation. Why is this so important?
Well, speaking clearly is key for good communication. A small mistake in pronunciation can completely change the meaning of a word.
Like ship and sheep.
Exactly. Or beach and, well, it can lead to confusion or awkwardness.
Yeah.
And while accents are perfectly fine, a very strong accent that makes it hard for others to understand can be a barrier.
So how do we work on it?
Try shadowing. Listen to a native speaker and try to copy their sound, their rhythm, their intonation, how their voice goes up and down.
Like being a parrot, but a smart one.
Pretty much. Identify the English sounds you find difficult. Maybe it's the sound or certain vowels. Practice those specific sounds often. Use apps and websites with audio recordings. Many show you mouth positions and have exercises.
Get that specific feedback.
Yes. And speak with a native speaker who can give you gentle feedback. That's invaluable. And sing along to English songs. It's fun and really helps with rhythm and flow.
Karaoke for language learning.
Why not? Pay attention to word stress, which part of the word is louder, and sentence intonation, how your voice rises or falls. It adds meaning. This raises an important question. How do we get precise with our language tools? It's really about focused listening and consistent, deliberate practice.
That precision focus leads perfectly into leveraging modern resources. You can make technology your new English learning buddy. Tech makes learning so much more accessible and, honestly, fun.
It really does open up possibilities.
Think about language learning apps, Duolingo, Babbel, Memrise. They break things down, track your progress, send reminders, keep you motivated.
Gamification helps a lot there.
Totally. And watching videos, YouTube, Netflix, whatever streaming service, use them for a listening practice, picking up new words, understanding culture.
Pause, rewind, use subtitles strategically.
Join online English learning groups. Reddit, Discord, Facebook. Find communities where you can practice with others, ask questions, share tips.
That peer support is great.
Talk to voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, Google. Ask them questions in English, give commands. It's low-pressure speaking practice.
And they don't judge your mistakes.
Exactly. Play English learning games online. Makes drilling vocabulary or grammar feel less like work. And just read stuff online, websites, blogs, news. Improves reading, builds vocab, keeps you up to date. Tech is like having a tutor in your pocket almost.
It really is. And one really cutting-edge way to use tech is to practice English storytelling with AI.
Storytelling with AI, how does that work?
Well, you use AI platforms like advanced chatbots or writing tools that are good with language. Think GPT-3, things like that. They often have story prompts, or you can just start writing. You practice putting ideas together, structuring a narrative in English.
Okay. And the AI helps how?
It can give you instant feedback on your grammar, word choice, sentence structure, even the flow of your story. It might suggest better ways to phrase things.
Like a tireless writing coach.
Exactly. Start with short stories, then try longer ones. Set a regular time to practice. You can even share the stories you create with friends for more feedback. The main thing is to experiment and have fun with it. It's about improving expression. Another technique, maybe more traditional but still very effective, is learning English with translation technique.
Translation? I thought we were supposed to think in English.
You are, eventually. But translation can be a useful tool, especially for understanding structure. When you translate, don't just swap words. Try to rephrase the meaning in your own words, keeping the original sense. It makes you think deeper.
Ah, okay. More analytical.
Yes. And when watching movies, maybe start with subtitles in your own language to understand dialogue, then switch to English subtitles, then none. And translate both ways, English to your language and in your language to English. This really shows you how words are used differently.
See the contrasts.
Right. Pay close attention to grammar and sentence structure as you do it. Practice regularly. Use online tools like Google Translate, maybe as a start, but always review it critically and try to improve it yourself. Don't just rely on the machine.
Those are some really practical techniques using tech and translation, but sometimes you just need a more guided approach, right? Which brings us to formal learning. Taking a formal English class can make a huge difference for a lot of people.
Definitely. There's real value in learning from someone trained to teach the language.
A good class gives you structure. It builds things up logically, step by step. Teachers can tailor things to your goals, whether it's for work, study, or travel.
And they can give you extra help when you're really stuck on a tricky grammar point or a confusing phrase.
Plus, teachers often get it, don't they? They understand the common struggles because they've seen them before, maybe even gone through learning languages themselves.
That empathy and experience is invaluable. They know where learners typically stumble. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, sometimes that structured help is exactly what you need to bring all these different pieces together effectively. That's where exploring options like English Paths, English courses, or similar reputable programs comes in. They offer that structured pathway.
So what makes these kinds of courses different?
Well, they usually cater to all levels, from total beginner to very advanced. And they aim to improve all your skills, speaking, listening, reading, writing, grammar, vocab, in an integrated way. Some key benefits you often find are personalized learning. They might use tech and teacher input to tailor the experience to you.
Adapting to how you learn best.
Exactly. Then there are the expert teachers. Experienced, qualified, enthusiastic people giving you guidance and feedback. A comprehensive curriculum that covers everything systematically, preparing you for real-world use of English.
Making sure there are no gaps.
Right. And flexible learning options, different schedules, intensities, online or in person, so you can fit it around your life.
What kinds of courses do they typically offer?
All sorts. General English for different ages and levels, intensive options, online versions, higher education pathways, professional English for specific fields like business or finance, exam preparation for tests like IELTS or TOEFL, even corporate training for companies.
A wide range.
Definitely. Usually you can take a free online test first to see your level, and they help you choose the right course. They're designed for everyone, regardless of your first language. Study schedules are usually flexible.
How long does it take?
It varies a lot depending on your goals and starting points, something you discuss with them. They use interactive methods, live lessons, personalized feedback, and often they have locations in various countries, UK, Europe, North America, Middle East, Australia, so you might combine study with immersion. If we connect this to the bigger picture, yeah, sometimes that structured support is just what's needed to accelerate your progress.
Wow, okay, that's a huge amount we've covered. From immersing yourself daily, using tech, focusing on the building blocks, to formal classes. So what does this all mean?
I guess the main thing is, learning English doesn't have to be this scary, overwhelming mountain to climb.
Not at all.
It's more like a journey with lots of different paths you can take, lots of tools you can use, made up of lots of small, manageable steps.
Absolutely. And the most important thing, remember why you started. Take it slow when you need to, enjoy the process, celebrate the small wins. Learning a language should feel like an adventure, something exciting, not just another task on your to-do list. Find the fun in it.
Totally agree. Keep that spark alive. So what does this all mean for you? It means thinking about all the cool new things learning English will open up. New people, new knowledge, new experiences.
And maybe think about this. Beyond just the words, what new ways of seeing the world, understanding different cultures, maybe even understanding yourself, will emerge as you start really thinking and living in English?